Welcome back, growers. It is Wednesday, June 25th, and we're here to learn as we grow. Today's conversation is about Minnesota's favorite lady, the showy lady slipper. What did you think I was going to say? State flower facts and native orchid beauty. Let's talk about it. She's rare, she's radiant, and she's rooted deep in Minnesota's identity. Meet the showy lady slipper, our state's crown jewel of the wild. But did you know this orchid is so special? It's protected by law. Let's explore why Minnesotans have fallen in love with this unforgettable bloom. Replay watchers, have you ever seen a showy lady slipper in the wild? If not, would you make a trip to see one? Do you have some kind of flower bucket list? Also, tell me your state flower as well. I would love to hear everybody's flower. Look it up if you don't know and write it in the comments. um, Maybe some places don't have a flower represented for their space. And so, I mean, tell me what your favorite flower is then. Instead, at the end, we're going to do bonus facts about the showy lady slipper. So this flower looks like this. The pink and white lady slipper, there in the parentheses is the Latin name, also known as the showy lady slipper or Queen's lady slipper, was adopted as the state flower in 1902, found living in open bogs, fens, swamps, and damp woods where there is plenty of light. Lady slippers grow slowly, taking up to 16 years to produce their first flowers. So this can show you where the range is. So we have three different, what do we call these, zones? This right, the mostly white, it's called prairie grassland biome. Bottom and center says deciduous forest biome, and then the upper part is the coniferous forest biome. So they bloom in late June or early July. The plants live for 50 to 100 years and grow 4 to feet tall. So since 1925, the rare wildflower has been protected by state law. Yes, it is illegal to pick the flowers or to uproot it or unearth the plants. I did not look up the consequence. Like, is it for sure automatic jail time? Is it a fine only? Maybe I could look it up while I'm here. What do you guys think? Okay, let's see. Penalty for digging up lady slipper in Minnesota. DNR misdemeanor. It doesn't say how much. Okay. Exact penalties can vary. Fines and other consequences. And then, yeah, it says misdemeanor. Oh my goodness. Okay. The showy lady slipper is one of 43 orchid species that can grow in Minnesota, which is way more than I thought we could grow, honestly. Many people consider it the most beautiful flower in the state. A brightly colored orchid that has one or sometimes two blossoms on a single stem. So white petals sit on top of a white pouch. The slipper, streaked with pink, hairy, oval leaves, clasp the stem. So the reason I got the inspiration to talk about this is, one, if you didn't know, I grow in Minnesota. I'm in zone 5A. And I have this wonderful magazine that we've talked about on the channel before, Northern Gardener. There is a link in the description to the website so you can get one yourself. But they did a whole article on these lady slippers. So that's why I thought, well, as a Minnesota grower, isn't it my duty to talk about this? The length, 1 to 2 feet tall. The color, pink, red, white, and green. It flowers best in bright sunlight, although it will grow in semi-shaded areas. In its first year, the orchid grows only as tall as a pencil point. That is small. Each year, the lady slipper may produce 500,000 seeds. Which are as fine as flour dust. The lady slipper grows in spruce and tamarack bogs, swamps, wet meadows, wet prairies, and cool, damp woods, and may be found anywhere in Minnesota where these habitats exist, like we saw on that map. This flower, the lady slipper, is uncommon in Minnesota. Population can be hurt by wetland drainage, road construction, tree cuttings, and illegal picking and uprooting. In addition, herbicides used on the roadside areas can kill these plants. The best management is to protect the lady slipper's native habitat, but also, fun fact maybe, some people can get a rash from touching the leaves of the pretty orchid. So if you happen to come across a lady slipper, use some caution. Maybe don't touch the leaves, because you might be one of the people that get a rash. We have Gandalf. Hey, good to see you here. Backlash Fisherman. Hello. Thanks for joining us for our conversation. Bonus facts about the showy lady slipper, because I have a little bit more details we can talk about. So it takes 16 years to bloom from seed. So we know how we talked about the 500,000 seeds. It would take 16 years for those to bloom. The showy lady slipper grows very slowly, can take more than a decade to produce its first flower, making it a symbol of patience and persistence. Indigenous uses and respect. Some indigenous tribes regard lady slipper orchids as sacred and have used them in traditional medicine, always with reverence and care. If you know of any fun stories regarding this, what I just said, please put it in the comments below. We'd love to read it. And few pests eat them, except our beautiful, lovely white-tailed deer. Okay? Okay, let's see here. Mike's chaotic gardening. We had lady slippers at cabin. So you've actually seen them. Here's a fun fact. I don't think I've ever came across one before, to be honest. And I've lived in Minnesota my whole life. Backlash is making a joke here. It says, I'll be 44 in August and still haven't bloomed. Think I just died off. Come on now. Sooner JH Travels. John is here. Hello to you. Thank you for being such a good supporter of our channel. So where do we buy this lady slipper? They actually listed different nurseries right here in the magazine. And I thought that was really neat. So Plant Delights Nursery offers seed-grown, nursery-propagated lady slippers in 3.5-inch pots located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Special Vegetation Orchid Nursery offers seed-grown single-stem to multiple-stem plants. They're actually out of stock for the 2025 bloom season, but check back in summer and fall to pre-order. They're located in Indiana. Hillside Nursery offers well-developed plants with a blooming stem. They're also out of stock for the season, but check back in summer and fall. They're located in Ashfield, Maryland. Gardens of Rice Creek offers 12 kinds of lady slippers, and they are available for purchase May 1st. So you'll have to go next year. They are pickup only. Located in Fridley, Minnesota. And guess what these run? Plants in small pots run $50 to $100 per plant. And these don't say how old they are, right? I mean, a 3.5-inch pot, how old is that lady slipper? Does that make you want to run out and buy one? Right here, it's showing the roots. You see that? And it was talking about how to plant the slippers. Before planting a nursery-grown seedling, prepare the soil. Like we do with anything, you dig a hole twice as deep and wide as the plant and mix in sand if the soil is heavy, which with my experience in Minnesota, the soil is heavy. Mix the sand in. Don't skip it. Add your compost. Check. We do that. And you can even add some organic potting soil. Backfill the hole with a few inches of the mixture. Fan the roots out horizontally on top, keeping the stem just above the soil line. The roots prefer a shallow depth in the wild. They lay on the topsoil and are covered with native compost. After planting, adding mulch is okay, but keep it natural, similar to what you might see in the forest, your dried leaves and your other natural debris to make the best mulch. Like we saw on the map, they're actually mostly grown in the coniferous forest biome versus the deciduous forest biome, and there's barely anything in the prairie grassland biome that Minnesota has. So be patient, it says. While adjusting to their new location, it can take a few years to see the lady slipper bloom. Oh my. Headed into the chat. Don't forget to answer the poll. We have you ever seen Minnesota State Flower, the showy lady slipper, in person? And don't forget to let me know, what is your flower? We're asking Team Replay as well as you here, what is your state flower? If you don't know, go look it up and come back. Maybe where you live doesn't actually have one and you're let off the hook, but you still have to tell me a flower. What's your favorite one? We'll talk about instead. So yes, it was magical. I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. Not yet, but I'd love to, or no. But it's now on my bucket list if anyone has a rare flower wild bucket list. We have 50% so far. Not yet, but I'd love to. Would you travel to see one? Or if it just happens, it happens. Okay, let's see. Backlash Fisherman says Raleigh is 75 miles from me. Well, and I didn't look at shipping. Like, I didn't go and get the nursery's website and put it in the description. I'm sorry. I might have time afterwards to go do that. And then usually with plants, shipping is not free. Like, if you want a well-packaged plant that isn't delivered on hot days or weekends where things sit in trucks, it costs money, right? Sooner J.A. Travels John, Oklahoma State flower is the rose. You lucky duck. A smaller one that's called a tea rose. Oklahoma State flower. Rose, Oklahoma. The first one was mistletoe. Well, they made a good choice by switching it. So here is Oklahoma's flower. Pretty, right? Hello, Tammy Harder. Welcome to our conversation about Minnesota's favorite lady. Here we go. Backlash Fisherman says our state flower in NC is the dogwood, I think. Okay, let's see. Flowering dogwood. Winner. You got it right. Let's check it out. North Carolina. Flowering dogwood. Radiant, beautiful flower which grows abundantly in all parts of the state. The 4 species of dogwood are native to North Carolina. Tammy Harder says, I have seen the lady slippers at the state parks. Since they are state flowers, it is illegal to pick them. I was told that is correct. We talked about that in our spiel here tonight for the show. I quickly typed in what is the actual penalty that happens, and it says it can vary. It's a misdemeanor, which can result in a fine. I wanted to know how much. I don't know if I can dig deeper. How much is the fine? I'm curious. Like, give me a range. Because, yeah, it's been protected since 1925. You're not supposed to pick it. And then theft of plants from public land is a crime. In 2020, it was $50. I feel like it'd be more than that now. We did talk about how touching the leaves could give you a rash as well. So if you do come across the beautiful lady slipper, don't touch the leaves, just in case. John says, my favorite flower is the spiderwort. Like the color of them, I used to like the orange flower of the bugle vine until I found out that the vine would kill whatever tree the vine was growing on. Yeah, it um, strangles it, I think is the word I was looking for here. So let's take a peek. Spiderwort. Ooh, this is it? That's cool. Can't I find a cooler image than that one? That one's not very good. Maybe not. Let's show it and see if this is the one. This one has a variegated leaf. I don't know if the one you're thinking of does, because I think there was other pictures of another one. That picture is not there. So this was John's spiderwort favorite flower. Hmm. So does that just grow outside where you are? Gandalf Smith, Ohio's flower is the red carnation. Oh, that's another good one. Let's check that one out. I think most of us know what a carnation looks like, but here it is. Ohio State flower, the carnation. Does it tell me something? Scarlet carnation, Dianthus coreophysalis. Oh, I don't do Italian, Latin, I mean Latin names. In 1904, to honor President William McKinley, he wore red carnations as a good luck charm. Wow. John says, I like the orange because it attracted the hummingbirds. That is in here. Let's see if I can get it quick. In this magazine linked in the description, it's 5 plants that attract hummingbirds. Columbine, salvia, bee balm, cardinal flower, trumpet vine. Trumpet vine might be the one that you were like, don't plant it. So I have columbine. Oh, geez, there. Columbine and salvia and bee balm I have planted, but I don't have cardinal flowers that I know of. So yeah, this is the Northern Guider hummingbird list, right? Here we go. Gandalf said it developed for President McKinley. You know your stuff, Gandalf, or you looked it up. Food Forest, permaculture, greetings, earthlings. Hi, Shawnee Grows. Do you have a state flower, a province flower? How do you call it? Does your island have its own flower, Howie? That's what we're kind of talking about. I ran through all the information already about my Minnesota's favorite lady, the lady slipper, and I have never actually met one in the wild, but reading about it was very interesting. John says the one I've seen in the wild are dark purple. Tammy Harder says, yep, we're in the land of lady slippers and loons. Yes, it grows wild. Paper Airplane Kentucky says, hey, Shawnee, we are talking about what your state flower is at this point. We ran through all our information on what I had prepped for the lady slipper, so catch that on the replay. But if you could tell me your state's flower, we've been bringing them up on the screen for everyone to see. And you did look it up. Thanks for being honest. BC Dogwood. Okay, here we go. British Columbia dogwood is the province's official flower. Give me a good picture, internet. Oh, that doesn't look like a good picture. This one is. Here we go. BC dogwood. White petals. And it said it's like a tree, so it must get big. Like, is this a real accurate? Look how big that is. It looks tall. Now, Paper Airplane Kentucky says goldenrod, and I'm questioning if that's true, or if you're making a joke. But I will go there and find out. Oh, by golly. It's the truth. I'm shocked. Giant goldenrod, everybody. Designated the official state flower of Kentucky in 1926. That one didn't give me a story like some of the other ones, and we can bring up a good picture. This one might be a good one. And show off your state flower, Paper Airplane Kentucky. I feel like goldenrod has many uses. There's that one. And he does say later giant goldenrod, to be exact. There it is. Okay, so back to the DC dogwood for food forest permaculture says yes, 40 feet tall. They last a month in flower. The nutlets are a food for birds. Look at you knowing stuff. That's pretty cool. We're going to say, if you like what you're learning, tap the like button, don't miss a grow, subscribe, know a gardener who'd love this, share the stream. On the coming soon, we are going to talk about our Gardening Through History episode 2. I know you all have been waiting very patiently, and I appreciate that because it is a hard episode to prepare. Ancient civilizations, gardens of power and purpose. You're not going to want to miss that conversation. It should be the next show when I find some time. My gardening book library tour has been requested, and I think we're going to do it. Let me know in the comments or the chat what you want to know about my garden book library. You know, am I just holding up the book? Do you want to flip through garden decor ideas? We can talk through how to set up spaces or things to add the decor conversation into it. And then building a mosquito-free oasis. Is it possible? What are ways we can tools we can how to set up a space so it's less mosquito-y, right? Besides just a screen and smoke and long sleeves and all that stuff, right? Natural as possible. We're going to end the poll. It says, have you ever seen Minnesota State Flower, the showy lady slipper in person? And it says no, not yet, but I'd love to. So I feel the same way. I'm going to copy it because the replay doesn't show it otherwise. Because I have never, back to the chat, seen it. Here it is for you in the replay. Okay, so John says, does it smell good? I don't know what the lady slipper smells like. Tammy, you've seen it. How does it smell? And also, I'm not sure what it is that you're talking about. If we're talking about the goldenrod or the dogwood, carnations and roses were the other ones that we listed. Oh, Gandalf has a fun fact. Gandalf Smith says, I checked a website and pink lady slippers are native to Ohio. So does it give you the range of where you can find them in the wild? I always see, I think it's Jack in the Pulpit. I see those in the woods around here. And then, yeah, I didn't know there was like 43 orchids that grow in Minnesota. That was wild. Gandalf says, so are white lady slippers. Yeah, that one nursery, well, how many did she have? 14 or something? You said no, you didn't see the range of where they live, I think is what you're saying. Yeah, that I obviously I don't have $100 potted lady slipper behind me. I feel like if I'm gonna spend $100 on a potted plant, it better make food. I'm just saying, right? Minnesota's favorite lady isn't just a flower, she's a reminder of how delicate and beautiful the natural world can be when we protect it. John was talking about the 40-foot tall tree, the BC dogwood. So that would be a question for Howie. Gandalf says over 50 orchids native to Ohio. I thought it was only 5. Yeah, isn't that shocking? I didn't realize orchids could live here, to be honest. Tammy says, Shawnee, I didn't smell them, so not sure, and they're not super big, but if you walk around on the trails and the state parks, you'll find them. I've been to a lot of state parks, but I'm out there with 3 kids, and so to stop and just look for something is hard. But now I know, like, be on the hunt out for it. June, July, so now. Um, Food Forest Permaculture Howie says Calypso Lady Slipper is what we have in British Columbia. Are you growing that, Howie? In your food forest? I can't remember if I've seen it. We do have 10 watching for our conversation of state flowers. Thank you for being here. We are going to end it soon. I was waiting to see if there's any more responses. Howie says they grow wild here. Pretty cool. There's no smell, says Howie. So whether you've seen her in bloom or just met her today, our lovely lady slipper, I hope you feel inspired to look a little closer at the wild places around you as we're learning about what grows, right? So we're going to say until next time, grow every day in every way.